In this video, I'll take you through the integration process of the Linkrunner Flutter SDK. In order to get started, once you're done creating an app on the Linkrunner dashboard, go to the documentation tab and then open the Flutter SDK documentation. This will take you through our docs website. There are two sections to it, the installation and the usage. We'll go through the installation first and then the usage. To get started, you have to install the Linkrunner SDK using the flutter pub add linkrunner command. I have a sample Flutter app which I'll be taking you guys through the integration process for. Over here, all you have to do is run the command to install the Linkrunner SDK. Once the SDK is installed, you have to do some platform-specific configuration for Android and iOS. Specifically for iOS, for ATT permissions, you have to copy these two lines. Inside your app, open info.plist and paste them at the end. Once that is configured, we can move on to the usage part. Here, we'll get started with the initialization function, the first one, which is linkrunner.init. Inside your Flutter app, make sure you're calling widgets Flutter binding in the main function. Once that is ensured, you'll have to set up the .init method. You have to call this right when the Flutter app is initialized. So the first function to call is the linkrunner.init method, and you have to pass in your project token. To find your project token, go to the Linkrunner dashboard, and on top you'll see the project token. If you can't see it here, go to documentation, and it'll be here. Simply paste it, and you're good to go. Second is the user registration method, which is the sign up method. Whenever a user creates a new account or an older user who already has an account on your app logs back in, you're supposed to call this method. Make sure you only call this method once during the app's cycle. Don't call it every time someone opens the app. To integrate the sign up method, you'll have to pass in the user ID, the name, phone number, and the email. These three are optional. Uh, the user ID is mandatory. These functions or these parameters would help us identify if someone has reinstalled the app. Pass in the user created at, which is stored inside your DB, and if this user is a first-time user or is a returning user. If it's a first-time user, set it as true. If they're a existing user, set it as false. Make sure you place this function right after someone signs up or logs back in into your app. The third function is the get attribution info or the get attribution data function. This will give you the deferred deep link pack inside your app, which will be in the deep links parameter, along with the campaign information from the Linkrunner platform. This method will return you the attribution data if someone used a Linkrunner link to install your app. Here is how the sample response would look like. It will have a deep link and the campaign data. If you're passing a referral code, like we'll do in this test case scenario, we'll be able to fetch the referral code and pre-fill the referral code input box or customize or personalize the user's journey as per where they came from. There are two more functions. First is for tracking custom activity. For example, if you want to track an item added to a cart or some occurrence of an event, you can call the track event function and pass in the event name and some additional parameters. If let's say this is an add to cart event, which has monetary value attached to it, make sure you pass the amount parameter with the amount of the value. Next is the capture payment method. Whenever a user pays or performs a purchase action, you're supposed to call this method. This function accepts the amount, user ID, payment ID, type, and the status. Here's a full list of type and statuses that you can pass into this function. We'll come onto the Linkrunner dashboard and create a new campaign. We'll name it integration testing, and we'll also enable deferred deep linking and add a referral code. And I'll click create. Once the campaign is created, we'll copy the campaign link, go to our simulator, and open it once. Once you click on the link, you should see the click number go up. We'll also install our app. Also make sure if you want to follow the testing, you have the domain properly set up. Go to settings and go to manage domain. Here it should show that the domain is active. If this setup is not finished yet, you won't be able to test out. Just make sure that this is completed before you start testing your integration. Once the app is installed, this will show a ATT tracking permission modal. And as soon as the app is open, the Linkrunner SDK will be initialized. While testing, you can pass the fourth parameter in the init method as true. This will enable the debug mode for testing so that the events show up faster. When you push it to production, just make sure you remove this before the push. As soon as the app is open, the install entry should be registered. And if you go to the Linkrunner dashboard and hit refresh, you can see the install number go up. If I click on continue, as you can see, the referral code was pre-filled because using the get attribution data method, I was extracting the referral parameter from the link, which I had created during the campaign creation flow. Now this is completed, and as soon as I hit sign up, my sign up event is also successfully called. If I go back to the dashboard and hit refresh, I can see the sign up number go up, and if I scroll down, I can see the user also. I have set up some custom events also. If I add an element to cart and let's say I check out, I have captured two events. Now, if I go back to the dashboard and enable custom events, I'll be able to see that one person initiated the purchase and the revenue is also captured properly. This is how you should be able to test out the entire flow of click, install signups, custom events, and revenue capturing. Thank you.